Oh, I guess this is a cliche now, isn't it? We're back! Episode 5. Apologies for last week. Apologies from behalf of myself and Dan, the gentleman Mulheron.
What's going on, people? Again, like we said, apologies for last week. A lot of things happened. We had business to attend to. Listen, let's get straight into it. Obviously, usually do the sponsors, so I'm going to do them. North Star Magnetics, one of our sponsors from last event and sponsors for our future events. We'd like to thank them. Any of your massage equipment, they're good for healing, especially you guys, MMA fighters who've got any injuries, get in contact with them. Also, MMA Uncaged, one of the leading magazines in Europe and in the UK. Great articles, and obviously I'm the, what do you call it, monthly columnist.
Columnist, that's the word.
So check out my next article coming out in a couple of weeks.
Anywho, massive news over about the last few weeks, really, about the last 2 weeks in the UK MMA scene and the international MMA scene. So we've had the LFC and we've had WC MMA that took place this weekend.
Yeah, well, last weekend, because we obviously didn't do the podcast. Last weekend we had LFC, which is Lions Fighting Championships, down in Chatham. What a great event! It was good up and coming fighters, and I'll be looking forward to seeing some of them on Fury MMA in the future. Obviously, we just had WC MMA, and I know one of your favourite fighters,
Denzel Two Guns Duncan. Congratulations! He's the new WC MMA champion.
Yes, he is, and he beat Jake Sines, who's the brother of Luke Sines. That was a good fight with a rear naked choke. So yeah, it was a good event, and I think we should tell them about who we got waiting online, because another news that broke out a couple of weeks ago, if you haven't heard it, our very own Fury MMA heavyweight champion Damon Godzilla Lake is taking on James Mulheron
for the Made for the Cage heavyweight championship. I mean, personally, when I heard that they had, signed Dayman to this bout, I mean, I was ecstatic. Should we just get Dayman straight on the line? I believe we've got Dayman waiting on the line right now.
Yeah, we have. And
Dayman?
Yeah.
What's happening, bro?
Yeah, what's happening?
How are you?
Yeah, all good, man. All good. Busy.
Right, we're gonna cut straight to the chase. Made for the Cage. You'll be up north facing the heavyweight champion James Mulheron in a heavyweight blockbuster. How do you feel going into this bout?
Like I always do, I just put my head down, train hard, turn up on the day, do what I can. Same as always.
Damon, it's Dan here. Hope you're well, buddy. It's good. Everything is good, thank you. Listen, I think this is a great fight. Let's not beat around the bush, so to speak. James's record speaks for itself. He's 6-0, and he has beat some of the top guys in the UK. What's gonna be so different about you fighting him, and what kind of game? What can you bring to the table to win, as opposed to the other guys who haven't been able to do so?
I don't want to disrespect anybody, because, like you say, he's beat a lot of top guys, and he's done very well for himself. And those are guys I will respect. I respect all of them, but I'm going to go in there and finish him. I've got no choice but to finish him, because let's have it right. I don't think I'll win a decision in his backyard. I've got to go there with that mentality.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that. One more question before I pass you back on to Martin. Obviously, James is known for being a big guy, and most of the heavyweights in the UK, big heavy hitters. But one thing a lot of people say about you is, okay, you're not the biggest heavyweight, but you sure are one of the fastest and great cardio in your tank. Is that something that you think you're going to implement in your game plan, taking over to up there?
Absolutely. I mean, something your promo guy said to me, which is stuck in my head. He said speed kills, and that's one of the biggest factors in the heavyweight game. The fact that you can't afford to stand toe to toe and start quick, slow your shots with these guys. It only takes one, and I found out with my fight with Darren Taylor. So I'm going to go in there, stay active, stay mobile, and just try and hit him with loads of speed. I mean, he's a quick guy as well, so I can't take that for granted. And he's got cardio every day, so it's going to be a real battle. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
I mean, personally, when I saw you fight Thomas Szynski for the Fury heavyweight title, as you said, speed kills you. I mean, you were so quick, you were so powerful, you were so explosive at the weight. I mean, as I said to you before as well, I mean, picking up a 20-stone guy and just completely dropping him almost head first. I mean, that was an incredible feat in itself. I mean, in terms of your training, what exactly have you been doing to kind of, bring that kind of speed and intensity that we've now come to see with Damon Lake?
I don't want to let go of too many secrets, but I do whatever I can to make sure I'm as explosive as I can be on the day, to put it that way. And that's one of my main aims, to be, as I say, explosive and fast, and just too much for a lot of these people to handle. And it seems to have worked recently, let's put it that way.
I've got to ask, I mean, how did this bout come about exactly anyway?
Well, originally, they offered the fight to Ollie Thompson, a leader friend of mine. And he couldn't take it because I think he's dropping to light heavyweight. So he recommended me, and they just got straight on me. I agreed it, and then we're off. That's it.
Wow, that's good. That's good. So bit of obviously we've been speaking here. South versus North. Mm-hmm. We obviously want you to bring that belt back down to the south. We've had a beginning of the week. We obviously put on our Twitter that we're going to be having you on the show. So we've had a couple of people tweeting a couple of questions, which I think Martin's going to read out.
Yeah, we've got from Double Jab 187. Double Jab would like to know, how did the name Godzilla come about? I mean, I know personally because I've interviewed you before, but I mean, just for for Double Jab, I mean, how did the name Godzilla come about?
It was given to me by my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu head coach. I mean, we had some real wars over the last few years, and I think we had probably about, I was still an amateur at the time, so it's probably about 4 years ago now, and we had a good solid round to and fro, and he was wrapping me up, I was wrapping him up, and we finished and we nearly passed out from how intense it was, and then we both sort of stood up and he looked at me and he said, "From now on we're going to call you Godzilla, you're too strong, man, you're too strong." So he just stuck. I wanted to avoid it, I tried to avoid it at all costs, but it's stuck in him, and it's just stuck since then.
Wicked. All right, we've got also from Harry Williams. He asked, if you could face any heavyweight, in the UFC, current fighters in the UFC, who would it be?
Well, just as a realist, I don't really want to call out names because I'm just the sort of guy that I get offered a fight, I talk to my management, if they agree, we'll go. Otherwise, I'll fight King Kong. As a fighter, you have to have that.
Godzilla and King Kong, that would be a great fight. Do you know what? I'm going to make sure for your title defense on Fury, we'll find someone with the nickname King Kong. That would be a great promo.
Especially if it's in Japan. I have to get the Japanese audience on that one, definitely. Another question we got from a Diego Cabron, I believe that is. Diego would like to know, who would win a fight and why between MVP Michael Venom Page and the poster boy Jimmy Manuwa?
What? Are we talking because MVP, he's middle or something, or middle?
This is a question that he's put to us anyway. Maybe he thought to start. I think, you've trained with Jimmy, am I right?
Yeah, Jimmy's a monster.
So I mean, you've seen both of them fight, obviously, and I know you fought on the same show as them. I don't know. It's a question that's been put to us. So if you could answer it.
In my honest opinion, I think it'd be a tough one to call because MVP's got that weird elusive style and he strikes out of nowhere, whereas Jimmy's just so solid. I wouldn't even want to call it. I mean, if Jimmy touches him, he's in trouble. But MVP's no slouch and he has got power, so he could. You know what I mean? I don't really want to call it. It's a tough one. I don't want to disrespect either of them by saying one's better than the other. You know what I mean? Because it's MMA, anything can happen.
Exactly.
I suppose a fight like that's a bit of like a dream sort of bout, really, isn't it?
I guess so.
It throws up more questions than I suppose you could find answers to.
Yeah, exactly. You could be talking all day on that.
I've got another question. I mean, what do you know about Made for the Cage?
I don't really know a lot, to be honest. I've only from what I've seen, because obviously when I lost to Towner, I think his next fight after me was against Mulheron on Made for the Cage. So obviously I had an eye on that. I watched it. Don't see much of the promotion. You just see the fight, as I said. It looks like a well-run show. I can't say anything bad about it at all. It's ready to, I mean, Paul Taylor's fought on there. Stats fought on there. None of them have spoke badly of the show. It seems like a reasonable.
Me and Martin were talking earlier. They've set a good base up north. Definitely, they've got good names, guys on there, and in the future, would like to obviously bring some of the top names that he's beaten as well to the show, and possibly maybe you defend your title against. I mean, I don't know, how would you feel? And I'm going to put it out here. if Darren Towler was to challenge you for your Fury MMA title, how would you do anything different of fighting him if it came to it, to defend your Fury MMA belt?
Keep my hands a little bit higher, I think.
Well,
I don't think I'd change my game plan.
No.
I just think it just didn't work on the night. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
If I tried the same game plan and it didn't work again, then yeah, wake up, it's not working. But I just think, like I said, it's MMA, anything can happen. He threw it straight like down the fight and landed and finished me from there. Fair play to him. But, maybe if we replayed that fight 10 times, that might not happen again. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of the things.
That's true. And I've got one more question. If, you got a great camp behind you, from Combat Sports Academy, how influenced are the guys, the guys that you train with, how much do they influence you? And if you could name a couple of the fighters who you actually train with into day-to-day basis. I know Kingslow's just signed a deal with Cage Warriors.
5-fight deal, I believe.
That does that spur you on as well? Having people like that.
I mean, me and Carl, we're always sort of bouncing ideas off of each other. We're always sparing each other around, and he's completely different beast from what he used to be. I mean, at welterweight, he was a troubled individual. He didn't really like the weight, and he had some mental issues. But now he's overcome them, and he's come on leaps and bounds. I mean, I'm not being disrespectful.
No.
He had some blocks going on, some real mental blocks going on. And now he's overcome them, and he's just completely different.
Yeah, I mean, speaking.
He's a credit to the sport.
I mean, speaking to Carl, he seems very positive. But speaking to, he blew my mind with some of the things that he was talking about, and some of the mental psychology and preparation going into the fights. I mean, is this anything that he's helped instill into you and to your game plan? 100%, 100%.
Because it's very easy to get caught up in your ego and things like looking at things from the wrong perspective, right? And you sit down with Kinslow for 10, 20 minutes, and all of a sudden the world makes sense. That's how deep he's got a different perspective on things to most people, and it's refreshing.
That's very, very good. I'm sure I'm sure he's got good things to say about you, and I'm sure we'll have him on the show. Listen, Damon, is there anyone you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Well, I want to shout out to all my sponsors: Tenant Construction, Ken Car Finance, Quality Security. I want to shout out to Elsfab Fabrication. Shout out to my missus who's put up with mood swings when I come home. Shout out to my kids, they're the reason I spur on to make myself the best individual I can be. And thanks to you guys for providing the opportunity for me to be an exposure, you know what I mean?
No, I appreciate that, Damon. And of course, you're the Fury MMA heavyweight champ, and we're looking forward. We're going to hopefully come up there and support you as well.
Definitely.
And see you take another belt underneath your wings. Damon, for now, for myself, thank you very much.
And we'll see you soon. We'll see you at Made for the Cage, man. We'll be representing that South corner, Dan?
Of course we will. Take care, Damon.
Take care, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye. Wow, Damon Lake, that guy, I just quickly want to point on what he was saying about Carl Kingslow. As you know, I've been around circuit with refereeing and stuff, and Carl, he's like you said, very, very positive guy.
Yeah.
And every time I meet him or talk to him, like yourself, when you went down the gym, he's got nothing negative to say. And if it is negative, all of a sudden you start seeing he twists it around into a positive.
Yes.
Or if he sees you on negative, so that can only help.
Yes.
Obviously, next week we'll have James Mulheron on the show.
The Juggernaut.
Yeah.
Look at that! We've got Godzilla versus the Juggernaut. Man, listen. I'm ecstatic about, and I'm very happy for Dayman as well to get another title shot as well.
Of course, it's just goes to show how much the British circuit is coming up. Obviously, we touched on it a little bit. The names that James has beat, like he's beaten Darren Towler, Martin Thompson, Stav Economist, Neil Wayne, Paul Taylor, Wayne Fairless. These are top names.
Yes.
And they're fought on top promotions. Do you know what? For me, Damon, if I was to sit here and play devil's advocate, like I said, James is a big guy, but
durable. He's durable, man.
But Damon, we know he's got good movement. He's got great ground game. No one has actually really seen his ground game. Got to think. He trains with Lee Johnson.
Yes.
And he trains down with the GFT, the BJJ guys. It'd be a very, very good matchup, and I can't wait to see that fight. I really can't wait. But You know,
and you know what? I mean, personally, cannot
like he said, he's not letting it go to the judge's decision.
Yeah. I mean, they're both really nice guys as well, man.
Maybe you know, it could either way. You know, I would like to see either a knockout or a ground and pound.
Yeah.
With a referee stoppage. I think that's what I would like to see. You know.
Definitely. Dan,
yeah,
I believe it's over to you. Where are we next in the show?
Well, listen, one of the topics that we put out there and I'm going to talk about is intelligently defending yourself. I know you and I were having a conversation earlier. You went to a show last week and the weekend just gone, and you were saying about, Dan, I saw a referee stopping the fight and all of a sudden he's calling them in and this and that.
You've seen a few incidents where, you know, the corner teams, you know, they've got involved and, you know, you being a referee yourself, obviously, you know, I mean, tell me about what kind of situations you would actually stop a fight where you believe somebody's not intelligently defending themselves and, you know, they're going to be giving it, you know, no, it's all right.
First of all, like, you know, the incident happened last weekend at LFC and happened to one of my colleagues who was refereeing on another show. And she had the same situation. You know, need to make it clear, MMA is a sport. It's not a dog fight. It's not a street fight. I'm not, you know, at the end of the day, your safety, a fighter's safety is our paramount.
Yes,
of
course.
And, you know, I had a situation, I'm not going to name anyone or name any gyms, I had a situation in the fight. You know, the guy was getting ground and pounded. Fair enough, yes, he was covering up, but the shots were going through. He wasn't improving his position. He wasn't showing me that he was okay. Laying there and not kicking the guy off or not trying to work your way up or not trying to tie the guy down and just laying there and taking unanswered shot isn't.
Let me ask you a question. Let me play devil's advocate. I mean, at which point, I mean, do you kind of look at a situation and think, that's enough?
Yeah, this is another thing I would like to make clear. I don't just go, oh, this has happened right now. If we look at, I mean, I know I personally don't know, some of the other top referees do. You don't just look at what's happened just there and then. You look at the lead up to it as well.
Yes.
If the guy or the girl, has, you know, did have a knockdown, you know, or was caught badly and had a flash knockout but managed to recover, but then this time hasn't, you know, all that plays into factor, you know.
Yes.
But like I said, the guy was an intelligent defender. He wasn't moving, and then you stop the fight, and then he jumps up in your face. Oh, ref, I was okay. I do this in the gym all the time. I was waiting for him to wear out. I'm like, this isn't the gym. This is an MMA show. It's a fight. Do what you got to do. Don't tell me that you're going to jump up in my face and go, yeah, I was waiting for him to wear out to take him to the second round. Or, you know, I had it a year ago. I think it was 2 years ago on another show. Guy jumped up. He hasn't even cut me. How can you stop the fight? He hasn't cut me. I haven't got no blood. I'm like, dude, he got you in a crucifix position. And yes, the shots weren't hard, yeah? But you weren't getting out of it and you weren't intelligently defending yourself. And I think it took about 20 unanswered shots, which for me, sometimes 20 is even a bit too many.
Excessive. So you've given an opportunity.
Yeah, you know, and I always say to the guys, you listen to us. When you hear a referee say, show me something, show me that you're okay, improve your position. That's the key of like, okay, I need to move it.
No.
I can't just sit there and cover up. I need to move. I can't just turtle up, even though the shots may not be going in and they're not knocking me out or this and that. You know, like I said, it's one of my pet hates when guys go, oh, we do this at the gym all the time. I can take 20 shots unanswered. I don't give a, excuse me, beep, what you do at the gym, but it's a sport, you know. At the end of the day, I can't let someone go on to get their, you know, head kicked in or punched in.
I mean, you know what? I know you are a serious advocate for a rules talk.
Yeah.
So surely all of this stuff is explained to the fighters and their cornermen in the rules talk.
Of course it is. You know, we. First of all, everyone who's fought on a show, I always say, any first-time fighters, you know, if there's no show of hands, I still go through the rules regardless. I just want to, in my head, know who's the first-time fighter because usually it's them who asks all the questions, etc.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I make sure I tell them in the rules talk. I always tell them in what intelligent defending yourself is. You can't just sit there. And I always say, instead of using that energy of being in my face or in the promoter's face, oh, why did the referee stop this? Blah. Use that energy to do something on the ground or standing up and get yourself out of that bad position. But, you know, fighter safety is paramount. That's the one thing I would say. You know, being a referee isn't an easy job, but, you know, someone's got to do it. But I love it. I love it. You know, I absolutely love it. And again, like I said, safety is paramount, and it's not a street brawl, it's not a fist fight. There's a limit and there's a stop. So then, if you feel like I've stopped your fight too early, or a referee has, I'll tell you what, the next time you better make sure you don't end up in that position, and that you do show something and you do protect yourself or improve your position for the referee not to intervene. So.
Well, there, you've heard it. You've heard it from the man himself, Dan, the gentleman Mulheron.
Yeah, one question I wanna put to you, Martin.
Ooh.
Just quickly.
Just quickly.
Who we got on our show next week?
Right. Next week, I believe we have James, the Juggernaut Mulheron.
Yeah.
We've got to have the counter side to this coin, should I say, from James. And also, somebody I'm a big fan of myself personally, Christian Evaldi from New Wave Academy.
Yep, he's the head coach there, along with Colin. And it's Christian. They've brought some great guys up. You saw him on the last show, Jake McCarthy. We've had Alex Lahore, we had Alex Montagani, we've had Max Nunes. Who used to try. I don't know if he still trains there, but obviously he was there. And list goes on and on. So we'll talk to Christian and we'll talk about his movie career, huh?
Oh man, if you haven't seen it, we've seen a bit of we've seen a film with Christian acting, and you know what? Credit to the man, he is talented on numerous levels.
Just maybe, we'll talk to Christian and we'll talk to our weatherman and we'll see if we can get a little slippy, a little clip in there of Christian doing his magic, but.
Big news as well, but I think we'll save that to the next podcast for the date of the next Fury show.
Yes, and I can't wait for that.
Oh man, if you haven't been to a Fury show, I think this will be the one you need to come and see.
Yes, guys. Listen, if you've got any questions for James Mulheron or Christian Evaldi, please go on to our Fury MMA Twitter page and plug us your questions, and obviously we try to get as many as we can to the guys. And alternatively, you can email myself, Dan @fury-mma.co.uk, or
Dan, please do this for me. I still haven't conquered it yet.
Martin @fury-mma.co.uk.
Yes, that's the one.
Obviously put your questions to us, and if there's anything specifically, it doesn't have to be about the show, Fury MMA show, anything show. UFC, any topics you'd like me to cover, or us to cover, should I say, please feel free. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, North Star Magnetics and MMA Uncaged. Guys, until next week, have a great night, and as Stevie D would say it,
be there or be Octagon. Peace!